Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me for another wow moment. In this wow, I'm going to be continuing on in the Dreams and Visions series. I left off with part 4, and now in this latest one, I'm on part 5. Now, there was a couple of visions that I wanted to share, and I think it was very important because these visions just opened up my eyes to a lot of things. It made me become more spiritual because these visions that the Lord was showing me was very biblical, very spiritual, and very important. So I wanted to share with you people because I believe that when you share your testimonies with people for what the Lord is doing for you in your life, it's very honorable to Him, and He really likes that. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys what my latest visions have been about and just giving you an update on that. Okay, so before I begin, let's pray. Father Yahweh, thank you for having me here another day. Hopefully this WOW video will help people who are having visions and dreams just like I am, that this message will get to them, and hopefully that whatever it is that you're showing them, the way you're showing me things, that they come to accept it and that they use it to their advantage with their walk with you, Lord. And the Father Yahweh and Yeshua. Amen. Okay, so yes, continuing on in this series for the Dreams and Visions, I did some videos on this particular subject a few months ago, and just last week I've had a couple of visions, and I've been having some astonishing things happening to me spiritually that I just wanted to share. It was 2 visions that I had. It was very interesting. It was very eye-opening, and it just proved to me that me being chosen by the Lord and Him wanting to use me for His kingdom, and it's just amazing. And the weird part about it is that these visions is that they're just so real, they're so realistic. You can see them, you can feel it, and it just feels so realistic, and it's just amazing, what the Lord shows you in the visions. And which is why it's very important to keep notes of things, write it down, make videos, make audio of it, because it's going to help you with your walk. And it's going to help you become more spiritual. And it's going to help you get closer to the Lord. Now, with this first vision, what I want to discuss is I had a vision, and it's so crazy because I work a regular job, a regular 9 to 5 like most people. That is my first job. And my second job is the WOW, making, WOW videos for the Lord's people and the non-believers and such other people. And it's really ironic how the Lord puts places, things that you've seen, where you've been, or things that you've done and that you're doing, that He places them in your visions to bring out messages that He wants to show you. And in this vision, I was having a vision that I was at my regular job, and except this time it was houses around. And on my regular job, I do like cleaning and stuff like that. But that particular day, it was on a weekend, and it was extremely hot. They had me outside, raking leaves and stuff. Me and some other guy. But this time in this vision, it was me, and it was basically myself raking the leaves, the same exact way I was raking in reality, and I was raking leaves with a few other people. But I didn't know these people at all. They were just basically strangers. But I guess I was just doing, work with them with raking leaves. And what happened is that the next thing, these yellow school buses pulled up and collected all the workers and everything. But I didn't get on any of the buses for some reason, but it collected the workers, and then they left and they went wherever they was, and I was there by myself. And then it's crazy because the next thing I knew, one of my aunts pulled up, and she wanted me to come with her and go back to wherever she wanted to take me. So I was like, okay, fine. I went with her, and like I said, people, with me raking the leaves, it was the same. I had this vision the same exact night from the day I was working at my regular 9-to-5 job. I was raking leaves, and then I had a vision about me raking leaves in my vision that same night. That's how crazy it is. But continuing on, I rode with my aunt, and we went back to this humongous palace. Like, it was extremely huge. Everything, the sky was just crystal clear, sky blue, brightest, whitest clouds ever. And this palace, I believe it was like a palace or like a mansion, but the mansion was like completely white. Everything was just white. There was antiques everywhere. The whole place was just crystal clear. Everything, there was like no sight of insects, no sight of dirt. Like, the windows were sparkling clean. The white structures were spotless. Like, there was nothing dirty about this place at all. It was like the most cleanliest place ever. And so what happened was, my aunt and I went inside, and as I was going inside, I could see like people dressed in white. People dressed in white. Let's say women were in like white blouses and white dresses. Guys were dressed in white tux or gowns and stuff. Kind of like what people would wear in heaven, like the angels and stuff, like gowns and stuff like that. It was all white basically, and it was like such happiness. Like, everyone was so happy, there was like no care in the world. People were laughing, people were joking. And the next thing I knew, I was going upstairs, and as I was going upstairs, I could feel like a mist of spirits, like angels, like happiness, like it felt like I was in heaven almost. And when I went upstairs, I went into this room, and when I went into this room, it was like a spa, and this place was like gigantic, like it was like really huge, like a big spa. And there was this pool. It was a gigantic fancy pool. The chlorine water was like crystal clear. Like, the water was like not dirty at all. There was antiques everywhere. I think there was like maybe some wine and some hors d'oeuvres, if I recall. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say, but I think there was too, as I wrap my mind around this. And on the first floor, I noticed there was this big balcony, which was separated between the pool, and you had to kind of like, there was no way to get over that way unless you go over it, swim over it to the other side. So I was looking off the balcony. I could see two worlds, and there was like a big fence between the two worlds. And what it was, as I was walking, my aunt was there. She was just watching me. She wasn't really saying nothing. She was just sitting around, just watching me, what I was doing. And I believe I was dressed in white as well, like in a white gown, like an angel as well. And I wanted to get in the pool and stuff like that, because the water just looked so beautiful. Like, I tell you, this pool was like no pool you've ever seen on this earth. Like, it was very mystical. It was very heavenly. That's how beautiful it was. And it was like, it was so big, it could fit, like, I would say maybe 50 to 100 people in it, give or take. Now, getting back to the two worlds, over the fence on the other side, I could see darkness. It was like, I was in a gigantic mansion, and there was a porch saying one side of the world was heavenly, and the other side was darkness. And on the other side of the fence, I could see like an alley, and in the alley there was like these children who were living in poverty. Some of them were like wearing like little bathing suits, but they look really raggedy and run down. And I could see like water forming like in a puddle, and the children were playing in the puddle, and they were like circling around, and they were trying to have fun. And in one sense, I was looking at it as though, like, I felt bad because here I'm on this side in this heavenly, gigantic mansion where there's like this gigantic pool, and the children are on the other side of this like a vortex or something, like on the other side of this fence, and they were just living in complete darkness. Like on that side, it was darkish grayish. It was like brown. It looked like a complete nightmare on the other side of what I was seeing. And I noticed that there was some older adults who were living in poverty, who looked homeless and bums and stuff like that. They were messing with the children, and I got really upset. So I turned to my aunt and said, "I need to go help them. You know, they're bothering the children." And then I looked on the wall and I looked at the clock, and it was 9 a.m. in the morning. Now, ironically, I had to be to work at 11 o'clock that very next morning in real time in my actual job. So I was telling my aunt, "Hey, it's 9 o'clock. I need to leave soon because I need to, get to work and stuff like that." And she didn't answer me. She just looked at me like with such happiness and with joy. So she wasn't listening to me, and I saw the adults messing with the children. So what I did, I started to run, and I was trying to get over to the balcony so I can get across into the other side of the world, and I fell into the pool. And when I fell into the pool, people, I felt so purified. I felt like, it was just such an essence. The pool was nice and cool. I wasn't drowning or anything, but the pool was very deep. It was like the deepest pool I've ever was in. And what I did, I couldn't reach the other side for some reason, so I came back out, and I got out of the pool. And when I got out of the pool, I was all wet, and I noticed that I was, dressed in a white gown, everything just seemed so clear to me. Like, I knew what the Lord was trying to tell me. He was showing me that there's a place for me in heaven, but my job here on earth isn't done yet. It isn't fulfilled yet. And he wants me to reach people. He wants me to help people. And that's how I knew what my calling was. And my auntie told me, I started to leave out the room to go back to the outside world to somehow get to the other side. And my auntie was asking me, she now started to speak. She was asking, "Where are you going, David?" I told her, "I'm sorry, auntie, I have to go. I need to go help those children. I need to go to that side of the world, to help people." And my auntie, she's still alive. We're not really close like that. We talk from time to time, but she's not deceased, so she is still living. So it wasn't a deceased relative or anything like that. So she smiled and she said, "Okay," and we hugged and everything. And I took a look around the room and the pool and everything, and I looked at the other side of the balcony onto the other side of the world of darkness. And I just knew I had to leave. So I ran out of the room, and I ran down the steps. And as I was running down the steps, I noticed that everything was changing. Like when I was running down the steps, and I was going out the door. Once I got out the door, I realized I was on the other side of the world, and I was at the same place where the children were playing at the puddle. And I was like, okay. And I was dressed in my regular clothes when my aunt had picked me up in, and I wasn't in the white gown or anything like that. And I saw an ambulance and police cars go by, and the children were gone. So I was wondering where the children went. And so I ran around the corner, and that's when I had woke up from my vision. And when I had that vision, that just told, the Lord was just trying to tell me that He has a plan for my life, and He wants me to help people. And that was just confirmation. And like I said, people, I didn't start having these visions until after I left church, after I left Christianity. I didn't start having these visions until I wanted to start changing my life. And I was watching Tiario's videos and having him as my mentor. But now I know what my calling is. I know what my calling is now. and I thank the Lord.